Oh,
Are we streaming?
it says so, yeah. I see you.
It's so weird because it's so slow. Hey guys, what's up? I completely forgot about live stream. I'm not gonna lie. I got blown up about it, and I also crashed one of my big planes yesterday and got really, really sad. So, all right. So I need to be better about asking. Yeah, I did see your Facebook post. I need to be really good about reading the question that you guys are answering because people were watching the video, the live stream after the fact, and were like, I don't really even know what because I was just answering questions. So. I don't sleep on this bed.
Scott Boutte, shout out to you because he said Autumn is his favorite.
We got a little Asian girl here in the corner. She's gonna answer our questions too.
Why am I on the floor?
The rates video, I'm editing that tonight. That's happening. I've just got other videos I want to edit too, and I end up losing interest in editing other videos, and I just end up working on 4 or 5 videos at the same time. Let's see. We got interesting questions today. Matthew, I don't know if it works with BL Heli 32 yet, man. What's up? All right, ask questions. Ask each other questions. Let's go. I use Adobe Premiere to edit my videos and actually After Effects mainly. Yes, my motors are 2450 kV. I was supposed to come out with a video about that, but I have a new line of motors that just came out today. But I'm not really. I wasn't really quick to like run out there and like advertise it. But I'm waiting on. I'm getting a box of like 30 of them, and all I have are the prototype pair. So I really want to try the production pair before I really recommend them. So hopefully they'll be awesome. Okay, I didn't even. Oh yeah, Preston Garrison. Here you go. He tuned in. Preston's on here. Mactown. It sounds like you have a bad step down regulator. I would assume. I don't know. I've had a couple KISS flight controllers do that where I'd plug it in the USB and it would just like get really, really hot. Okay, here we go. The questions are coming in. Have I ever used the Taranis QX7? I have used it once, and it's a pretty awesome radio for like a cheaper radio, but the switches are right above the gimbals, like right there. And if you're a pincher, you end up kind of hitting those switches. So I don't know. Maybe you can remove those switches and it would still be cool. What is 450 kV good for? 5-inch or 6-inch? I would say 5-inch. That might be a little too much for 6-inch. Wait, I saw Rick and Morty. Yes, I'm very hyped about Rick and Morty season 3. She hasn't watched Rick and Morty yet, and I'm about to make her enter that world. Can people see you in the corner? Yeah, they can see you.
Can they? Yeah.
I got into FPV. I'm going to do a really quick story because I said it in my last stream or the stream before that. But I was wanting to work on my own horror film, and I bought a DJI Phantom to do an aerial shot of this like log cabin that I was filming a scene at, and so I bought one. Then I jumped on YouTube and started, doing research on drones, just trying to learn more about them. And I came across Metal Danny like ripping through the forest, and that was it. It was all. Okay. Do I race? I do not race, but it's pretty cool. I'm thinking about starting to do it some more. Some guy says LMAO dynamic filtering ? I don't know if that is an actual question or what, but Techopedia asked, do you need a ham license to fly FPV in the U.S.? Ham and FPV doesn't really go together necessarily, but primarily if you're going to be doing anything under 5.8 gigahertz and anything over a certain wattage, and I can't remember, but I do have my ham radio license, but I can't remember the exact specs for it. I think anything under maybe it's under 2.4 actually. Anyway, don't quote me on that, but it's not related to FPV specifically. Wait, can you guys hear the music? I hope it's not too loud. Jose asked, do I recommend ND filters? I mean, that's a common thing in photography, and sure, why not? It kind of brings everything down to like a neutral tone. I'm going to start experimenting with it. Will we notice much difference from 2400 kV to 2450 kV? Probably not, but it depends on the motor and the magnets and the stator and all that stuff. There's other, and weight, motor weight can change it too. Lazudi FPV wants to know, how do you change TPA in Race Flight 1? I actually don't know other than command line. You have to do it through the command line. All these questions are hilarious. Do you achieve your smooth flow by flying relatively slow? I guess maybe. I mean, I fly fast too, but it's probably easier if your quad's moving kind of slow. GoPro settings. I run. What do I run? I do 1600 ISO. I do flat colors because I like to color grade it myself. And I do auto white balance. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Auto shutter speed. I don't do anything fancy really, other than I use the flat colors so I can pull it out later in post. Will you have my babies?
Whoa.
It was a dude too.
Somebody says, why does your hair stick up in the front?
My dog licked it. Let's see. Give us your PIDs. My PIDs will be in the new build of Race Flight. So, Josh Lawless, I got something cool cooked up. So, hold on to that thought. He asked if that I should make a top-mounted battery frame. Do I get a bunch of gear from companies to try? I don't get random gear that show up, but I do get a lot of emails from companies, and I usually just ignore them all because they're all like little toy drones and stuff, and I'm like, whatever. Be sure to, you tune in if I'm missing some of these questions. I'm like basically pausing the chat log because there's so many coming in.
I feel like this is more in sync with how late it is.
Thanks, Anthony. He said that we rock.
Skeeter is bae.
What?
Hey, Drew. Ladrib. He said Skeeter is big.
I plan on doing a new tuning video that will kind of put more emphasis on tuning, on filters, because like doing the P, I, and Ds is pretty much the same as it's always been. So I will do a Race Flight 1 specific one if you guys want. LD FPV says your original motors were 2400 kV. Why 2450 now? That's just kind of how the windings worked out, but it's a bigger stator, so it's going to be a much more powerful motor, regardless. So it will have a higher torque and RPM. So, and they weigh about the same. KVIN asked 2.7K or 1080p. I record in 2.7 and then I downgrade it to, or downscale it to 1080p for YouTube. So, what is my favorite iDaddy asked what my favorite battery is. I like the Lumineer 1300 milliamp 4S 95C pack right now because it's lighter than their graphenes and they're really powerful. And they do the cool thing like Tattoo where they put those aluminum plates in there to keep the cells from bending, or just makes it like a perfect block. Were you saying something?
Yeah, your questions that you're answering are like way up.
I know, because I want to do them in order, otherwise I'll skip everything.
Oh yeah.
So
I didn't know you were like this.
I realize that all my questions are super far behind. So. I record, okay, someone asked if I record in 30 or 60 frames per second, and I record in 60, and then sometimes I downgrade it to 30, depending on, because it's better off to have more data in the raw data than it is to, you know, do it the other way around, so. They want to know what happened to your quad.
What happened to my quad?
It's in there, where it's been,
It's
collecting dust.
Yeah.
We'll get her to fly it eventually.
Hey,
Lone Wolf FPV asked, when are my motors coming out? They came out today, actually, on Get FPV, so you should try them out. I actually haven't flown the production models yet. I've only flown the prototypes, which should essentially be the same thing, and they are my favorite. They're my absolute favorite. Where is it? Where is it?
I lost.
It's over there. Who makes them? Lumineer makes my motors. If that was the question, because I'm getting a who makes them. So, all right. Do you want to ask the question?
No.
No. So everyone, eyeliner is apparently made of mineral oil water and carbon fiber dust, according to Biohazard Jack.
Okay.
Just wanted to let everyone know that.
That was for you, Drew.
Okay, we got a few. Okay. I'm sorry if I miss any of your questions, by the way, because I'm trying to go through them one by one.
Somebody said, if you would compare yourself to a Game of Thrones character, who would you be?
I like that one. I'm a Game of Thrones fan.
Chris Quad FPV asked,
Say it louder.
If you were to compare yourself to a Game of Thrones character, who would you be?
Ooh. I kind of like
Tyrion Lannister.
I feel like I would be more like a Jon Snow. Because I'm, sexy and badass,
Oh my god.
She doesn't agree. Alright, whatever. Maybe I'm Tyrion Lannister then.
No, honey.
Tyrion's awesome. What are you talking about? He's a survivor. Alright, okay. Any new frames coming out? Saw yours in Hobby Shop the other day. I am working on a new frame, but I can't really... I haven't decided on anything, so I'm not even going to talk about it. I love your X frame. I bought one real quick. What flight controller do you recommend? My flight controller. I recommend my flight controller. It's called the Skitzo Revolt. It's on Get FPV. It's an awesome flight controller. You should buy it. It's awesome. How do you feel about Banggood cloning your frame? That happened. Actually, it's funny because Banggood cloned my frame. I think the day that my frame came out. Like, it's amazing how fast they are. I don't know. I don't really care. Whatever. What can you do? How do you feel about? Wait, I already read that one. How do you get sponsored? You fly a lot and you talk to other companies. Like send out emails, upload videos to YouTube and send them to people and email people with them and be like, hey guys, am I good enough to represent your company? And hopefully you are, and they'll get back to you. That's how I did it anyway. Okay, let's see. Any updates planned for the Skitzo frame? I am working on a new one, and it's going to be awesome. That's all I can say. I'm going to blow minds. I'm going to try to blow minds in a new dimension, but we'll see.
Somebody picks you as Hodor.
Hodor! Hodor! Thank you. Thank you. So that's equivalent to me walking around just saying Skitzo all the time, but in different tones. Okay. What's your favorite video transmitter and camera? Okay, I normally fly the Lumineer 5.8 600 milliwatt BTX and the 600 TV line or 650 TV line Lumineer camera, but I also like the Runcam Swift 2, which I'm flying on a couple of my setups. So I don't know. A camera's a camera these days, as long as it has good, latency and a decent lens on it. Do you use Spectrum telemetry RX? I use them on a couple of my quads. They sent me a few. It was kind of weird that you had to kind of jump it to put it in bind mode, which is kind of weird. I don't know why they can just put a button on the receiver, but. Any thoughts on the stretched X frames like the Talon? Drew asks. I've never flown the Talon, but I do like stretched X frames. They tend to be they do forward flight very well and very stable. So, okay, someone asked about the same question. All right, who asked the tuning question?
Well, Vicious Vin asked, is there any tip to the the complete locked-in feel in tuning?
All right, wait, ask it again.
When you yaw, it almost.
I was jamming out for a second there.
It says Vicious Vin says, is there any tips to the complete locked-in feeling or feel in tuning? For instance, when you yaw, it almost clicks in.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I kind of refer to that as being locked on a rail, kind of like. Yeah, that's basically what a tuned quad flies like. If it's not doing that, then you don't have a tuned quad, or you don't know how to do the curves properly because it's a lot of that is in the filtering too. Like you're under filtered or over filtered is going to kind of break that whole thing. Even if your quad is tuned, if your filters are wrong, it's gonna break that feel. So filters are important. She's laughing about something. What is it?
Somebody's Pony FPV says you sort of look like Littlefinger. I'm back to who is your girlfriend?
Another survivor.
Sorry,
I'll take it.
I am his girlfriend. I'm not his pet Asian.
Pet Asian? there. All right, you do the questions because it's harder for me. I want to be be able to interact.
FR Sky or Spectrum and why?
FR Sky or Spectrum. They're both good. Spectrum is who I prefer because I like their 11 millisecond link, so it's much faster. It feels a little bit more, just feels more responsive, and the radios are nicer. But Tyrannus is very open-ended. You can program the heck out of it, and it's got a really good link. A real stable link. So. I don't know. I've never fail-safed on Spectrum, but everyone makes fun of Spectrum for fail-safing, so. Go on. Keep them coming.
Lost it.
No.
Do you use... Okay, Sunny Day wants to know, do you use the pins or direct solder for your Raceflight 4-in-1? One to the Raceflight, or RF, I guess.
I know what he means.
Yeah.
He's asking...
Do you use the pins or direct
So Raceflight has an all-in-one ESC called the Bolt. I think, or is it the Volt? Hopefully I didn't get that wrong. It's the Bolt. and it's an all-in-one ESC and PDB combo. And you can solder pins up to it, so the flight controller will just sit down on top of it and hook up, which is really cool. But some people they've done a few tests that I guess it's not always, I guess, precise. I don't know. Like I don't know. They found something. They found out that doing wires is actually better. I don't really know why, because I'm not like a technical person to explain that. But I have setups with both, and they both fly good. So probably wires is the safest way to go, though.
Wires.
Wires.
So next, Kyle Drones 2TM wants to know, why wouldn't Betaflight recognize any CLI commands? CLI?
Why wouldn't Betaflight
recognize any CLI commands?
It should. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I haven't used Betaflight in like over a year. I would say something's wrong with maybe your computer, or maybe the configurator you're using may not work well with that firmware. I don't know, though. I'm just shooting in the dark here.
Okay, next. Biohazard Jackson 63 wants to know, will there ever be a Skitzo tiny whip frame? Ooh, tiny whip?
No, I don't know.
I
I am working on a 3-inch frame, though, so that's like a little guy that runs BL Heli race flight and is ludicrous fast. So it's actually right here. And this thing is really, really fast. And I'm experimenting with a little run camera on it. All right, next.
Okay. Do you waterproof your quad?
No.
No.
Next.
Alpha Grammar TV wants to know, what are, in your opinion, best motors for 6S batteries?
Ooh. I don't know. I haven't flown 6S in probably 3 years. We we went through this a long time ago on trying to test out 5S and 6S setups, and we did obviously. We would step down the KV for sure. I would think you would want something with a big stator, like at least a 2207, and then maybe a lower KV. Like I wouldn't say any more than 2300 KV. Even that might be too much on 6S. I don't even know. So I don't know. Back in the day, I did a 2000 KV setup on 6S, and it worked well. But in terms of a specific motor, I don't really know. But that's just like the specs that I recommend. All right, go on.
Drums and Drones wants to know, what's a really good VTX you can recommend?
I like the Lumineer ones. They always work. The 200 milliwatt or 600 milliwatt or the cased one versus non-cased, they're all the same. They all work well. And also the TBS Unify is pretty cool. If you like it's like a really tiny, about the size of your pinky nail, but they do heat up pretty hardcore. So. Next.
Jason C wants to know, what batteries do you use on your 3-inch?
Oh, I don't have many. Oh, my 3-inch.
Yeah.
Good question. I thought you were about to ask my 5-inch because I've answered that a million times. Pulse. I'm using a Pulse 450 milliamp 4S, and it's got a little cute XT30 on there. And that is what I recommend now because that's the only one I know of. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Anyway. All right, next.
Oh, man.
Man, we're going through them, man.
Tony Brizuela wants to know, are graphene batteries worth getting over regular batteries?
Ooh. That kind of needs a follow-up, and I have to kind of follow up.
So, next.
Graphene is going to be heavier, so if that's something you're concerned about, if you don't want to carry around a heavier battery. But they do, in general... Generally speaking, they're supposed to provide more power and last a little longer. I definitely noticed a power difference between the standard Lumineer and the Lumineer graphene, but I don't really know if they last longer or anything like that. What do you think about that? What do you think about that shirt? All right, go ahead.
Next, Dynamite Drone and Gun Girl. Love the name. Do any smaller quads have good power to weight ratio for freestyle? And she also wants to know what you're chewing.
My lip. I've got no good answer to that. I'm just chewing my lip. I chew my nails and my lips like profusely. It's really okay.
Do any smaller quads have good power to weight ratio for freestyle?
Smaller quads?
Yeah, smaller quads.
Oh, I'm experimenting with that now. I normally 5.5 inch, and 5 inch is by far the best all-around quad. I would recommend that over a 6 inch or a 4 inch. But the 3 inch, however, could be a potential. Why are you laughing so hard? You're making it hard for me to concentrate. All right. Anyway, the 3 inch quad is actually proving to be very awesome. It's like super fast. It's really lightweight, but you can also still do a lot of momentum things in freestyle. So hopefully, I will be able to make some really good footage from it. The biggest issue is you can't carry around a GoPro. You can carry a GoPro, but you're right on the heavier side of things. So you'll kind of feel it when you're coming down out of things, and it might be a little harder to pull out of things. And yeah, so experimenting with it right now.
Skywalker 808 wants to know, when is that tuning and filtering video coming out?
I did agree to do that, but I haven't even started it. So I need to do the rate video, and I have another just random video coming out, and then I will work on that. So probably another week or so.
Okay. Brandon FPV wants to know, can you please tell me what the heck is the point of a big motor with high KV, like 2407, 2700, for example?
Okay, so I hope you guys can hear her like reading the question back. Do you think they can?
Hello, can you guys hear me?
I mean, I can hear you through the speakers.
I know.
But yeah, I think you're fine. So the question is, why are people doing these huge motors with a lot of KV? And I wouldn't say they're huge motors, but they're a larger stator. And that's kind of like the war, because we don't have any way to produce more power. Our batteries are really, really old technology. They haven't really gone anywhere. And there's kind of this hunger for more power. I guess people think more power equals more better. I want to say more better. All right, just let me do it. Just let me have the moment. And so I don't know why people are doing that. I actually prefer a certain range, like a 2205, 2206 stator. That is the perfect place to be. And 2400 or even 2300 to 2500 kV is the best. That's the best motor. They perform really well. They don't get too hot, and they're awesome for freestyle. Now, if you're doing racing, maybe that would benefit you. I don't know, but the biggest issue is the batteries right now. It's like I don't know. Anyway, I'm going on and on.
Josh Lawless wants to know, what is your favorite freestyle trick, or when you find doing or yourself doing the most? Favorite freestyle trick?
Probably split S's. I'm really, really basic. I don't do anything cool like all those other guys. I just kind of like, what is so funny?
Answer the question.
Probably just a standard split S. I love any kind of trick that keeps something in focus, like whether it's a tree or a building or whatever, is what I like to do the best. And when I'm flying, I try to vision myself like on a roller coaster, or like flying around like Superman or something.
Cool.
So
Maximilian Eder wants to know if you have a 6-pack.
No. I have a keg though.
Hold on.
I used to have a 6-pack until I started eating tacos and flying quads.
I don't know what this means. Mr. T FPV wants to know, could you just pop a run cam split into a 3-inch quad to save on weight?
Yes, you probably could do that, but I don't know much about the split, and I don't know what the actual recording, what the recorded video, what resolution it's in. I don't know. I don't know too much about it other than I know what it does. I just don't know what kind of format it's going to record to, and I don't know what the quality will be like, because nothing can top the GoPro right now. So
that's right. Tilted Monkey FPV wants to know, do you run capacitors on your quads?
I do. I run at least one, and I recommend you have to have at least one. Just the general rules of electronics. I like how you can hear my chair squeaking. The general rule of electronics is to run the capacitor in a circuit, and it provides auxiliary backup power as well as it filters the line. Because the biggest issue are speed controllers and these monster motors that you're running, and all the active braking that's going on when you chop throttle and you full throttle is sending a lot of noise or turbulence back into the electrical system. I'm trying to explain it from like a non-electrical guy, but it sends a lot of dirty electricity back into the system, and it kind of has to go somewhere, and the capacitors will eat that up, and yes, that makes it a lot easier to tune.
Reboot 1 wants to know Star Wars or Star Trek?
Star Wars. Actually, I don't really care for both, but probably Star Wars.
Hard or soft tacos?
Ooh, it depends on my mood, but probably soft in most cases.
Jeremy Jackson wants to know what's your current favorite EF plane? The 91-inch yak, the 91-inch extra, or the 106?
This is Jeremy from the field. He's
Oh,
calling us.
hi, Jeremy.
That was probably really loud.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Okay, back to quad stuff.
The Extreme Flight 91-inch yak is the best bang for the buck airplane, hands down. Man.
Okay.
I exploded mine 24 hours ago ish, and I built a new one within 24 hours. If that gives you an idea. Okay. Next.
Mode Flip wants to know what is up with your new motors. Why are they better than others on the market?
That is a good question. I wouldn't say that they are better than other motors on the market because there's a lot of motors out there, and plus there's a lot of really cheap motors out there. So I have a lot of different motors on all my quads because I like to test them out. I even got the gold edition Cobra motors to try out, and I build replicas. I actually have 5 of my frames with the exact same setup, same tune and everything. The only thing different are the motors. And my purple motors perform the best. They need the least amount of filtering, and they have plenty of power. So I really think that the ceramic bearings are actually playing a role there. I don't really know if that's what's doing it, but it definitely feels that way. It is the smoothest quad out of all of them, and all of them require around I guess 60 on the filters, and I can go down to 30s. You know, lower the lower the number, the least amount of filtering you need. And my purple motor setup runs in the 30s, which I can't achieve on any of my other ones. So I don't know. Next.
Donald Stahl wants to know, or he said, Skitzo, what type of capacitors and where do you mount it?
The best place to mount them if you're running like individual ESCs is on the ESC itself, like right where the positive and negative pads are on the ESC. That's where you want to run the capacitors, because you're going to stop the noise before it goes into the system at all. And wait, what was the question? Which ones? I run the 470. What is it called?
What type of capacitors and where do you mount it?
I run the 470, whatever the 470 number is, and I get them off Amazon. In fact, in all my videos, if you look, I have a link to Amazon for the very capacitors that I use. So. They're 470 nm. I don't know whatever nanometers. What is that? I don't even know what it stands for. Okay, go ahead.
LD FPV wants to know if you're coming out with top mount batteries, Skitzo frame, and when.
So many people are asking that.
Yeah. So answer.
I'm working on it.
No.
I'm working on things. I can't say anything.
Somebody, Sunny Day wants to know if you can add the required mounting screws for the race flight bolt slash.
Wait, what is it? What was the question?
Could you add the required mounting screws for the race flight bolt slash RVRT, whatever that is?
For what,
to
my
your
frame?
kit?
Yeah, I think the biggest issue is when I designed the frame, I don't think the revolt was out yet. So the prototype didn't require grommets and all that stuff. So, well, you had to use O-rings. It was kind of more of a pain in the rear. So that would work with the standard nylon standoffs. But right now I run like longer steel bolts like all the way through, and then slide everything down onto that. So yeah, I think that is something that I need to get together with Lumineer on and do. Because right now he does have a point. Like if you want to, you have to kind of like buy your own bolts.
Yeah.
To get it to work. So okay.
Definitely should talk to them about that. Okay, Andre Martinez, I'll call them.
Yeah.
Andre Martinez wants to know BL Heli or KISS.
BL Heli.
BL Heli. Okay.
I don't know if they want a reason why. I guess I'll give them a reason why.
Skip.
Skip it. Okay.
Well, I mean, isn't this something?
I'm just going to answer. Yeah, we want to go through the questions. I want to go through why, but BL Heli instead of KISS. for race flight.
They're probably gonna be like, man, you should have answered that. Okay, suspect FPV. Do you reverse your props? Do you reverse your props?
On some of my setups. Yeah, like on race flight, you can. I'll give her a lesson too. So on some of you guys that don't know, on race flight, you can reverse your prop order or direction. So you know how like the top right motor is normally spinning counterclockwise. Well, now it's going to spin clockwise, and vice versa for the other one. And what that does is essentially it's supposed to help on prop wash, but I haven't really noticed much of a difference. But the biggest thing is if you crash in grass or like mud or something, your propellers are slinging outward as opposed to in, so you kind of avoid getting grass and muck all over your frame, and it kind of shoots it outward. So I do it on some of my setups, but it doesn't really make a difference.
When you're ready to say next.
Next.
Stephen Parsons wants to know what's a better motor for a 5-inch drone, 2300 kV or 2750/2600?
2300 kV?
That's what he said. What's a better motor for a 5-inch drone?
I would prefer a 2300 kV setup with a larger stator. I'm not going to say that that is the right or wrong answer. I would prefer that because I like having a lot of instant torque, and I don't really need a lot of top speed, which is kind of where the kV comes into play. And it would be a lot nicer on your batteries too. When you go to like 2700 kV, it really starts to take a toll on your batteries. So it's always something to consider. It is going to be faster though. So next.
A lot of people want to know what video software editing tool you use.
I guess people are chiming in at different answers or times because I already answered.
Oh, you
I
said,
I use Adobe products, so I use Premiere and After Effects. Mainly After Effects because I wouldn't even recommend that because I learned After Effects trying to do movies and stuff, so I learned how to do special effects and stuff through that. So that's what I naturally used to edit. But Premiere is probably a much better and faster editing tool. If you're using Windows, I guess if you're using Mac, I would recommend Final Cut because that's what a lot of other guys are using. So
yes.
I think it's called Final Cut. Yes.
Adam Garcia wants to know what's the best quad for beginners.
Why does that sound familiar?
Adam Garcia?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I think it's there's a comedian called Garcia.
Yes.
That's what it is. He wants to know what?
What's the best quad for beginners? Probably the one I have.
The best quad for beginners.
Yeah.
I would say a tiny whoop.
Yeah.
I don't know how new you are.
A tiny whoop
Yeah, she's never flown before, and she was able to fly the tiny whoop around the house. I just don't know what your skill level is. If you're super new, I would recommend something really cheap. When I started the hobby, I learned on a little like $80 drone from Fry's, and I learned how to fly at line of sight in my yard, and then I would teach myself how to land it in the bed of my truck and then take off and, just have a little bit of control. And then, I branched into more expensive stuff. So I'd recommend a tiny whoop, or if you feel like you're beyond that, then maybe something like a Vortex, like something that's already like ready to go.
Next.
Yes.
Wild Willie FPV wants to
gosh.
know,
I don't
are
want to know.
you a Betafly team pilot?
He's not allowed to answer.
Willard, are you trolling right now?
He is trolling.
Stop trolling.
What a troll.
Johnny FPV. Why are all your friends trolling? All right, next.
We're not going to answer any of Wild Willie or
Johnny FPV
questions because it's going to be a troll question. Don't feed the trolls.
Oh my gosh, he's like every other line. Hold on.
My biggest fans are in here.
Fling Wing FPV, what is your opinion on the new multi-GP spec class?
I don't know anything about it.
Don't know anything about it.
Sorry, next. I don't know any racing stuff.
Oh my gosh.
I should.
Chicken nugget pilots, French
What,
fried
chicken
Jones.
nuggets?
I don't know.
Oh, they're talking about Team Chicken Nuggets. Is it Johnny?
Do you think Chewbacca is still mourning the loss of Han Solo? Chris Quad.
I like that question. I would say
he's the same one that asked about the Game of Thrones.
He has funny questions. I like those. That kind of offsets the seriousness. I would say yes. I mean, how do you get over Han Solo?
Do you think he's still mourning?
Yeah.
Like the tears.
He's gonna. Yeah. He's kind of like our dog when he has like little crusty things here because he's been crying.
crusty.
He gets crusty things on his
Because he
eye.
gets sad.
Mm.
Dirks074 wants to know how many capacitors do I need for race flight?
The more the merrier. I actually have a setup with 5, which is kind of overkill. But I think you're probably good with 1. It just depends on how noisy your quad is. If you have really bad motors and or just a lot of interference going on, you'll know when you start playing around with your filters. If you need a lot of filtering, then something's going on, you know. So.
Willard wants to know, do you even fly, bruh? Bro.
No, I don't.
Opinion on, I don't know what this is, Armatons? What is this?
Armaton makes the frames.
What does that mean? Where are my fingers at?
I have no clue. They're talking about Armaton's 2300 kV motors. I don't know anything about it, but they're probably good because motors are motors, man. They're just like copper wire, or I guess some of them don't do copper wire, but it's basically copper wire and magnets, and it spins. I mean.
Okay. What's your stance on Star Wars Episode 1 to 3?
Wait, what?
What is your stance on Star Wars Episode 1 through 3? Don't know what that. Do you even remember?
I don't remember the order of the Star Wars episode. Star Wars Episode 1, I think, was what, Phantom, right? I don't even know how to answer these. I hated Phantom Racer, whatever it was called.
Nick.
The one with...
He is going crazy over here. Okay.
I want to address my fans.
Your fans. Is there any way to legally fly FPV without a visual observer?
Technically, you are supposed to have a spotter, is what he means, I think.
Okay.
So technically speaking, at least in America, according to the FAA, when you're flying FPV, you can't fly, I guess, out of line of sight range, or you're not supposed to fly behind things. Okay. So technically, you're supposed to have a spotter. You should have a spotter anyway, especially if you're doing anything remotely near public stuff, you know, because we do that all the time. Like, oh, there's a car, you know, driving behind us, or there's someone walking over, you know, like it's just good to have a spotter. But I don't really know the laws on it. Go ahead.
Okay. Somebody wants to know why, G-Nice wants to know why all of a sudden capacitors are a thing.
Capacitors have been a thing. But I guess we didn't know any better. And in fact, I don't know if you guys remember, but some of the older BL Heli speed controllers came with little capacitors on it, and people thought it was bulky and stupid, and they would remove them. And normally they'd fly like shit because of it. So just read up on capacitors and why you need them. In electronics, you need them. You can do it without it, but it's going to help.
Nick, chill.
What is he saying? I want to know what he's saying. How was what? Nick wants to know how jail was. It was fun, not at all.
God. Okay.
Have I answered all the questions already?
No.
Oh, okay.
Some of them are you going to do DRL? People want to know if you use Steel's motors.
I have not used Steel's motors. Someone asked if I use Steel's motors, and I haven't. I don't have anything negative to say about them, except I do know 2 people personally that fly them, and apparently the bells tend to just, or the little C-clips tend to come off and shoot the bell off mid-flight.
Next.
I'm not saying all of them do that, but that was their experience. So.
Silico6 wants to know, do you still use Maytech PDBs?
I do. I like Maytech PDBs. It's just a cheaper PDB that has 12 volt and 5 volt step down and everything built into it. It's kind of nice.
Okay. Next.
Yep.
Flingwing FPV wants to know, what's your favorite racing sim?
Oh man, I've only used Freerider and Liftoff. So I hear a lot of good things about Velocidrone though. But I don't really do simulators. I mainly just fly. I just kind of go out when I'm at home and it's raining or something. I end up watching TV or playing video games. So kind of lazy. All right, next.
Dirk074 wants to know, did you drop the soap in jail?
No, I didn't take a shower in jail, so
Yeah.
yeah.
It smells so fresh after.
I smelled like jail when I left there. It was not fun.
People want to know your thoughts on Stingy's frame.
Oh man, I haven't had this question come up. I like that.
A couple of people asked.
Kevin designed a frame called the Stingy frame, and I am very proud of him.
Yeah, Stingy. I think it looks really cool.
It's a really cool looking frame. A lot of people gave him crap about it being an alien clone, which I guess I don't really know how you would make a true X with a top-mounted battery not look like an alien or the Astro X or whatever that frame. There's another frame that everyone's flying to. So I don't know. I'm really proud of him. I was really happy for him when he did that, and it looks like a really cool frame. I'm not a fan of. I'm not going to sugarcoat everything just because he's my friend. Love it. I'm not a fan of the amount of hardware. I don't like the Alien because of that. I don't like his frame because of that. But I don't like having a ton of standoffs and a ton of bolts. I don't want it to take a long time. I just want to put a few bolts in and the whole frame's like ready to go. So.
Vicious Finn wants to know, where can I get a Skitzo hat?
On the Get FPV website. It'll actually be in the description of this video, probably.
Daniel Hubert wants to know, can you put on one of your masks? Oh.
I don't want to do that. I will do it again at some point, but in the previous video or previous stream, I scared the crap out of her because she walked in the room and I had one of my masks on.
Not funny. Did you talk about your jail experience already in any of your?
I didn't. I don't know how much people want to know about my jail experience.
Somebody's asking about jail. Somebody asked about your court date. But okay, fine.
Court date already happened. Yeah, for those of you that don't know, we like a year and a half ago, me and Steele and Alex flew at what apparently was a trespassing area that was owned by the state. It was essentially an abandoned railroad station, and I had permission to fly there. When F3 Expo happened, they actually rented out the location and allowed me to fly there. And we went back and we flew there, and then the FAA came after Steele for whatever reason, and they decided to come after me too because I was in that video. And yeah, but no, it was not fun. It was in DeKalb County, which is like probably it's the roughest jail in Georgia, so it was not fun.
I feel like Johnny and Wild Willie, don't they live together?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they're sitting next to each other.
Oh yeah,
just
they're like
trolling
they're like
right
savings.
now. Yeah, they're having a conversation. It's so funny. Oh man. Everybody's asking, why are you?
Johnny should be using this time to build more than one quad.
Hear that, Johnny? Johnny's sitting here promoting his channel on your live stream.
I like that.
And then Willard saying, shut the hell up. Butt Buddies, top mount versus bottom mount battery. Okay. Andre Martinez wants to know, top mount versus bottom mount battery. Do you already talk about that?
I don't think I have talked about that.
Okay, so do you?
We flew top mounted batteries like for a really long time, and then I flew a True X with a bottom mounted battery, and I loved how fast it would turn. It was weird. It almost felt like it just turns much faster than a standard top mounted battery setup. But apparently Johnny and Willard and Steele and all of them like top mounted batteries, but the rules of physics would say that a bottom mounted battery would be more stable in flight than a top mounted battery, but everyone tries to contest that. But I don't really know. Me personally, I haven't flown a top-mounted battery frame in a while, but I'm getting ready to get into that. So.
Johnny says, you fly bottom mount? What the fuck?
I do.
Okay, Dash.
I see him. I saw your question.
Johnny boy. Dash wants to know, have you flown the Hyperfloss or Hyperlight motors?
No. But that's probably another trend is they're kind of leaving the bottom of the motor open to shed weight, and that's probably what that one is. But I haven't flown that yet. Sounds cool. You could send me a pair if you want. A set.
What's Star Wars pod racing?
That's the little what do they call them? Speeders.
Okay, so Pool Noodle Tech FPV. Pool Noodle Tech.
I like that name.
How much do you think Star Wars pod racing is related to drone racing?
It's like the same thing, except you're not physically in it. Right?
I guess.
Except pod racers, I think, were more like hovercrafts, so they could only go in a straight line. So they would kind of be more like an FPV racer as opposed to freestyle.
Jester wants to know why you and your girlfriend didn't go to Flight Fest.
Okay, there's a story.
I wanted to go.
I absolutely planned on going to Flight Fest this year, but I actually completely forgot about it. I had anticipated going, and then Madrid let me know like the day before that Flight Fest is happening, and I just wasn't. It was just too last minute. But I am definitely going next year. I'll make sure she makes me go.
Yes. Gosh, a lot of people keep asking if you slip steal any meat. Somebody asked that last time too, right?
They did. It's probably the same dude.
Maybe.
Someone wants to know if I've slipped steal some meat, and I'm hoping he doesn't mean that in a sexual way. But also, Steele is vegetarian and or vegan. I don't really know. He kind of changes. He used to be pescatarian, then he was vegetarian, then he was vegan. So.
AOL FPV wants to know what's her favorite coat hanger for stroking the bed. This one.
The plastic one, apparently.
This one. Some Skoda FPV wants to know, are quad box / drone drop subscriptions worth it in your opinion?
Worth it. I don't know how much they are.
Anybody know how much they are?
I would assume it's worth it because there's a lot of cool stuff that come in it. I mean, they sent me one because I allowed them to use my T-shirt in the first one. But it was pretty cool. It came with like a set of speed controllers. It came with some props, and I don't know. It was pretty cool. I would think. I mean, T-shirts are normally like what, $20, so I would think it was a good value.
They said it's like $50 ish.
A month?
Yeah, $50 ish with boost.
But you get a lot of stuff though.
Oh.
I mean, you spend that much on a set of speed controllers on those.
Okay, I'm so confused. Why is everybody saying Fook the Mayweathers?
I don't know. I don't get that. I don't know any kind of. I don't know the lingo of all the children and people.
Fook the Mayweather. Okay, I'm gonna skip those because I have no idea.
Maybe they just want to hear you say
it. Are you going to the multi-GP event in Munich? In
Muncie?
Indiana. It says Munis. Indiana.
He meant Muncie. I think so.
Right?
I think we're going.
Okay.
I want to come hang out, but I'm not going to race.
All right. Zoltan FPV wants to know, hey, my ESC caught flames. I have a 28 BL-LES and a 2205 2300 kV motors. Any help?
20 amp? Is that 20A?
20 amp BL-LES, and it's right there with the Z next to the Z.
I have a 20 amp BL Heli and a 25. A 20 amp BL Heli S ESC should be enough for that motor. I don't really know what to suggest other than maybe just going to 30 amp to be safe.
And a fire.
There's nothing. I mean, yeah, there's nothing I can do about the ESC's toast. Don't try to use that again.
Okay. What's more fun, drone freestyle or 3D flying freestyle?
Ooh. Is he talking about airplane?
Alex Kirkland wants to know what's more fun, drone
Alex.
freestyle or 3D
I know this
flying?
guy.
Oh. Alex Kirkland. He sounds familiar.
He's the Asian kid.
Oh, hi, Alex.
I think he's Asian. I don't know.
Wait, is he the 3D, the plane?
Yeah, he flies airplane.
Oh, come on now.
They're both fun.
Guillermo Nespolo wants to know when you get married.
I don't know.
Okay. You don't watch boxing. Dash wants to know Mayweather or McGregor.
McGregor.
Whoa.
Just because I want Mayweather to lose.
All right. Larry Johnson wants to know: do you write and compose your own music in some of your videos? Loved The Other Side of Me.
I have done that in a couple of my videos. But I don't know if I did a full YouTube video but I have done Instagram clips of me flying to some of my music. Yeah.
Willard said he'll drive you to Muncie.
But Johnny said he'd fly me.
We're driving.
Johnny said that he would get his dad to fly us.
Oh my
He did
God.
say that. I might hold him up to it.
Okay. Ooh. Mode Flip wants to know: do you compete anymore? That was like F3.
Yeah, I haven't competed since F3.
Yeah. Skitzo, do you race? No.
Nope, I don't race. But there is possibly a new F3 Expo happening. Wink, wink.
Okay. I want to get an FPV camera. Any recommendations?
Runcam Swift 3.
Runcam Swift 3.
Or Swift 1 or whatever. Runcam makes a lot of good cameras. Or Luminaire camera.
Okay, somebody's like yelling about some stuck in tree story. What's your worst stuck in tree story? A couple of people want to know about your stuck in tree story.
Does it have to be me stuck in a tree?
How about that time it got stuck in that winter storm and you and I were out there? That's not the
That
worst
was
one,
a good.
right?
That wasn't worth though. I did. That actually is a fun story though. So I was flying at the trailer park, and the winter was coming. Trying not to be. I had to do it because the game went down. Okay, but the winter was straight up coming. There was a huge like snowstorm coming in within like an hour, and I crashed at the very top of like the largest pine tree ever. And I was by myself, or were you there?
I was there.
Okay,
helping
she was
get it
there,
out.
and anyway, the winter storm came. Like it was just like a blizzard. I had to leave it, and but I think that's not the worst. The worst story wasn't me though. Steele got caught in a tree, and his girlfriend at the time, Shayna.
Yeah.
Were you there?
No, I came right after
Oh.
when she fell out of the tree.
Yeah, I was gonna explain that story, but now, yeah.
That's
So
fine.
anyway, Steele's girlfriend tried to help him get it and climbed all the way to the top of the tree and fell, and it wasn't fun. So came this close to like landing on a giant boulder.
Her head.
Mm-hmm. Head boulder would not be good.
All bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Mecca Giver?
Mecca.
What are your thoughts on the F7 flight controllers coming out? And do we need that much processing power?
Yes.
F7 flight controllers. What are your thoughts on it?
I think more F's equal more better. No, I think that that is the way to go. Is to a more powerful flight controller is only going to help you. The faster they are, the faster they can respond to prop wash and things like that. So that's why in race flight it's like virtually prop wash free. At least mine are. All right, good.
Shifty FPV says, "What the F? Steele didn't catch her. He tried to catch her and got a huge cut on his forehead trying to catch her."
He did try to catch her.
He did try to catch her.
I tried to too, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't make it because I was standing about 10 feet away and I saw the branch crack and I ran, but he was right underneath her. And she landed kind of on him, but he couldn't really. I mean, you can't really stop a human being when they're coming.
I mean, he was bloody when I came. He had like this.
Well, he had glasses on, and when she
Yeah.
landed, like her leg like it pushed his glasses down, and it cut his nose right here. But you can't really stop a human being like when they're falling from that high. But he did kind of break the fall, I guess.
Yeah. Drew Les wants to know: do the very cool stickers on your dark matter frame act as a soft mount?
I don't really know, but I would think so. I actually did a funny little picture on Instagram, and I said, "Who needs soft mounted motors?" And I showed a picture of my frame, just because I would think that it would add a little bit of absorption in between the motors, because it's kind of like vinyl.
Fiend Golfer wants to know: Donald Duck or Mickey Mouse? Mickey Mouse.
That was really loud. You probably blew up there.
Sorry.
I would say Donald Duck. Go ahead. Just because she said Mickey Mouse.
I love Mickey.
How long have we been live?
Oh, I don't know. Is it time to go yet?
No, I do want to answer more questions.
How
We've been
hard is
alive.
it to get sponsored if I'm pretty new at FPV?
We've been alive. We've been live for an hour. All right, what?
Zoltan FPV wants to know how hard is it to get sponsored if I'm pretty new at FPV?
Just because you're new doesn't mean you can't be good. I would assume there's different levels of sponsorship. You know, you could at least snag a propeller sponsorship or a battery sponsorship, something like that, and just kind of work your way up. But I just make footage and send, email people. Just email people.
Sorry, guys. I know that was really loud.
Did I say that?
Yeah, they're like, whoa, volume control.
It probably blew up the speakers.
Okay, Prop Vendor says, I got your frame. I've been through 3 cameras. Do you have problems with cameras on yours?
No, that's the speakers. Hang on, I might try to control my mic settings. Hang on. Why isn't it popping up more than that?
Whoa. This guy.
Let's try that. I'm going to turn down my microphone volume in case she decides to have Tourette's again.
Somebody said, Life in the Flyover said, in my opinion, sponsorship has more to do with influence than skill.
Yeah, I would think that does apply as well, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your outreach, if you already have like a good following or people like really like what you have to say, that could obviously play a big role. But also, skill level can stress test gear properly though too. So there is kind of a 2-part to it, I think.
Man David for Second Base TV.
Man David.
I don't know. Skitzo, what are your thoughts on? I don't know what that is.
What are your thoughts on what? Let's see.
How do you pronounce that?
Where? What am I looking at?
This one. Lipos.
What are your thoughts on? I don't even know how to pronounce that either. If you even know of them. I don't know of them. I can't even pronounce it.
Next.
Asihi? Asihi? I've never flown them, but I don't know. Batteries are batteries in a lot of ways, just like motors.
Monster Mechanic says yell again. Quad Squad says you need to turn off your speakers completely. Okay.
Gotta listen to some kind of music, man.
Somebody else wants to know when you're going to post the race flight rates video.
Soon. I'm working. I have it in the background right now. I'm working on it.
Prop Vendor wants to know, do you use 95C batteries?
I do. I like them. That's my favorite right now.
What's your favorite freestyle video of all time?
Ooh, I've been asked that before. I have never been asked that before.
What's your favorite freestyle video of all time?
Well, the problem with that is I kind of started a long time ago. Some of you guys might be starting now. And for me, it was really, I think Sharp Who's Left Behind video was really what made me step up my game and really get in the game, I guess. So I think that's a lot of that should feel like that should be a lot of your answers.
Guillermo
del Toro.
Doing a lot. Okay. Jester FPV wants to know Mongolian beef or sushi.
Ooh. Oh, it depends on the mood.
You know you're all Mongolian beef right here.
I do have a lot of Mongolian beef.
I like
right
sushi.
Here. Yeah, she's more of a sushi fan than me.
I like sushi.
I like American sushi, like where they cook it and they load it up with cream cheese and fried stuff. You know, like fat people who choose sushi.
I like my fish flapping on the table.
Nope, I want mine deep fried.
Okay, Pedro Sousa wants to know, do you feel like you need to keep updating or stick with what works?
Wait, what?
Do you feel like you need to keep updating or stick with what works? Updating on what, though? Mm,
I'm always updating because I'm always playing around with stuff. So I would say my advice to most of you guys is to stick with it. If it works, then keep using it. But if you're always like searching for a better tune or more power or new technology, I'm always building new quads. Like every single one of these are different. So
Crossfire FPV says, hey.
what up?
Okay. He just answered, what's your favorite freestyle vid? Sharpoo.
Sharpoo Left Behind is one of my all-time favorites.
Okay.
That one it came out at the right time. It's like Mario Brothers, right? It's obviously like not as good as a game of like as Half-Life or something like that, but Mario Brothers, like the first time I ever saw that game, I was like, oh my god, and that's what Sharpoo's video did for me.
Tim Gutentag wants to know, are you going to be a guest at Team Failsafe podcast?
Maybe. I've only watched like one of them.
Willard wants to know, will you build quads for me?
No. I do have a bunch back here. You see them?
I'll make you one with this hanger.
I got 6 quads that are all in various working order.
He said, I'll pay you in Wild Willy stickers.
Wild Willy currency. Will you pay me in Wild Willy props?
Chris Simpson wants to know, Skitzo, have you flown Raceflight 2308s? Are they good for freestyle?
Wait, what? Raceflight what?
Have you flown Raceflight RF Raceflight 2308s?
I think he's talking about these.
Are they good for freestyle? Damn, Joshua Chang.
That was
No.
probably really loud.
He says, are you gonna dump your girlfriend?
He's just trying to get a rise out of me. I have flown them, and I don't know if I really say that they're not bad for freestyle. They just have a lot of power, but they're not the smoothest. So if you do a motor test on those versus like my purple motors, they would be a little bit more vibratey. What
Vibrady.
I made that up. Okay, that's what I want. That's the word I wanted to use.
They want to know what Tycho's name is.
His name is Tycho.
Yes.
It was as close as we could get to taco, and that's what I like.
Okay, Sultan FPV wants to know, what's all the amp draw and ESC stuff? I don't know any of it. Summary will work. What?
A really quick summary.
Yeah. It's like super quick.
So when your motors are spooling up, they drain power. The ESCs give them power, and the ESCs can only supply so much power. So. What?
Mecha Guyver, have you been injured, and what was your worst injury?
Have I been injured? I haven't been injured in the hobby. Have I?
Steel has, right?
Steel has, yeah. Wild Willy, why don't you tell them?
Yeah, Wild Willy. Let's tell them about how you ran into Steel with your quad. And
yeah, Wild Willy actually flew into Steel. That was pretty funny. I actually haven't had no, that's not true. I had a QAV 250 that had a motor. I think it was having one of my ESCs was desyncing. And I spooled it up in my hand, and it twitched and actually spun the prop into my finger and cut me. But that's, in terms of quad-related injuries, that's the worst I've had, which isn't really that bad.
I have a really good question. Tim Gutentag wants to know, when are you giving your girlfriend that back rub she really deserves?
Tonight. I don't like this guy. No, I'm just
Tonight. Okay, JC250 wants to know, of your freestyle vids, which one's your favorite?
Of my freestyle video?
There's so many good ones.
You're just saying that. That's a biased opinion. Don't
no,
listen to her.
It's not. There's a lot of really good ones that I've seen of yours.
I would say the most that had the most meaning to me, or I guess the biggest impact, was my F3 Expo run. I don't know if you really want to consider that a freestyle, one of my freestyle videos. But tree dancing is one of my first like really heartfelt like flights that I did. So I would say one of those two, the F3 Expo run or my tree dancing, my original tree dancing video.
Next.
Yes, next.
Shop27 FPV wants to know, what's your take on Spectrum DX6 and DX9 remotes?
Wait, what?
What's your take on Spectrum DX6 and DX9 remotes?
The
Yes.
DX9 is better.
The DX9 is better.
I mean, more channels equal more better, right? No. The DX9 comes with better gimbals, that is for sure. And I am not sure if the DX6 has a diversity or not, so I don't know.
This is kind of cool. Sunny Day wants to know, can you do a Sharpoo Skitzo mashup frame? His body and your arms.
My arms and his body? Or does he mean the frame?
He said his
I like
frame
that.
and your arms.
It's kind of fun.
That would be kind of fun.
Yeah. We could do that.
Somebody wants to know when you're going to do another piano playing video.
I just got my piano
Jesse
tuned, so I've been playing more.
Simmons, sorry.
Jessica Simpson?
Jesse Simmons.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you,
Everybody keeps asking about, are you going to be in Muncie?
I know, I just read that.
Yeah.
The Spectrum radios are more expensive, but they are nice.
All right.
So I was just informed that the DX6 does have diversity. Yeah, don't quote me on that. I said I wasn't sure if it did or not. But mainly just the radio is nicer. The DX9 is a nicer radio, but the DX6 is really good for the price. Next.
Scott FPV wants to know, do you fly with a microphone on your quad?
I don't.
Okay.
Well, I do have a microphone on my quad, but I don't ever listen to it. I usually fly to music.
Muncie. Okay.
Lots of Muncie questions.
Muncie. Should I get your new?
Scarpoo.
Should I get your new motors?
Of course you should. What kind of
yes.
question is that?
Hello.
They're super smooth. Like they read the lowest like motor noise index than any of my other setups.
Spectrum 5D BI mod. What is that?
I don't know what that is, but I'm assuming that is an antenna modification or something.
He wants Shop 27 FPV wants to know who's better, Skitzo or Sharpoo.
Sharpoo.
Guillermo wants to know, do you ever fly Futaba?
Guillermo.
Guillermo, no Despolo.
That's intense. I have only flown Spectrum one time, and the radio had the best gimbals that I have ever felt in my life. So, but again, Futaba, if you think Spectrum is expensive, then Futaba's got a whole new take on it. Futaba is very expensive, but I like it.
Ooh. Skywalker 808 wants to know what your favorite arcade game, and he said, I really miss Killer Instinct. Arcade game.
That's a good question. So I grew up in the arcade era, and I absolutely miss it. And some of you guys know I built my own arcade machine, and I'm building another one that's Rick and Morty themed that I'm actually doing an episode on. I was a huge fighting game fan, and I actually used to enter Street Fighter 2 tournaments at the local arcade place, and my dad would have to actually come with me because I was like 9 years old, and I would go in there, and these big teenage guys would be kicking their ass, and they would like intimidate me and they'd be like mean towards me and like nudge me, and you know they'd just be really standoff. So my dad had to come with me and be like my bodyguard when I was 8, because I was 8 years old, just like stomping these kids that were like 18, and so Street Fighter 2 was like a really, really big one for me. But Killer Instinct, I was huge into that. Mortal Kombat 3. I wasn't a big I mean, I liked Tekken, but I was never like super into Tekken. So
I love Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombats and Killer Instincts and I did like Killer Instinct too. But anyway, mainly fighting games. Go ahead.
Somebody wants to know if Drew and Steele are romantical with each other.
Maybe. I don't know. I did see them sharing a donut together.
Ooh, donut.
I think I saw a photo of them both biting into a donut at the same time. It was like one of those. What was that? That movie, the Disney movie, where they're like sharing the noodle.
Oh, Lady and the Tramp.
Lady and the
Lady
Tramp.
and who's the Tramp?
Right. Who's the lady and who's the tramp?
Brown Boy wants to know, what's your favorite flying spot of all time?
My favorite flying spot?
Yeah. and fidget fiddler. They want to know what your favorite place to FPV is.
I would say the abandoned trailer park is where I fly a lot.
That's your favorite though?
No, but it's. I would say one of my favorites would be the office park spot the
I
office
love
space.
the office part. I
Yeah,
think the office
there's
space is
I don't know what we would call it, but it's essentially I came out with a video called Office Space FPV, and I've flown there a few times after that. But that spot's really fun because it's just there's like holes to jump out of, and there's buildings, and there's little bridges, and there's just all kinds of stuff, and a lot of green stuff, like a lot of trees and stuff too. It has like literally everything: building, diving, bridges, and floral stuff everywhere. So
yeah, I love those videos.
it's a very well manicured office.
I mean, there's just a lot going on over there. There's enough going on to keep it really entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What time is it? It's
I don't
11
know.
o'clock. Sorry I started this late, guys.
Well, how long are we going to be on here?
Not much longer. Let's answer 5 more, and then we'll have to
Okay.
cut it off.
Does it matter what kind of questions they are?
No, it can be anything. Chicken tacos, by the way. Someone asked if I like beef or chicken tacos. I like all kinds of tacos, but I would normally eat a chicken taco over beef.
What does Hornet FPV wants to know? Sorry, Hornet FPV, I like totally read over it. If you want to ask again, I'll read it. Mecha Guyver wants to know, have you ever thought about doing volunteer work, taking some nano drones to a children's hospital and spreading the fun? That would be a really good idea. If they
First
would
of all,
allow
hang on.
it.
First of all, is your name related to MacGyver at all, like the show?
Yeah, it's got to be. It's
Mecha
Guyver.
I don't know if he. I'm hoping that's what that is because I loved that show.
MacGyver.
MacGyver was like an old school show where the guy would just like make all this makeshift stuff out of nothing. He would take a quarter and make a bomb out of it and some like weird things. Anyway, but that is a really good idea actually, but I haven't actually thought about doing that.
That is a.
I have gone to a few elementary schools to show kids, I guess like kind of like poverty areas, like to kind of show kids like what drones are and stuff like that. I've done that a couple times. What is so funny?
Okay, Unity or UE? Sorry, Fish FPV.
Unity or Unreal Engine is what he's asking.
Unreal Engine. That's like the second or third time somebody asked.
Yeah, we worked in Unreal Engine with tribes, but I use Unity. I use Unity a lot here at home, but in the professional like studios we use Unreal Engine a lot. But I would say as of right now, Unreal Engine. All right, next.
No, I wasn't picking my nose in his Instagram picture. I was just.
Yeah, she was.
Being so.
She probably ate it right afterwards.
Ow, ow.
Was you girlfriend picking her nose?
What's your favorite color? Zombies or vampires?
My favorite color?
Yeah.
They're not colors.
No, I'm saying, what's your favorite color? And then another question.
Oh, my favorite color is blue. And then zombies or vampires? Definitely zombies. Are you kidding me? Vampires are lame.
What is a Naza?
Unless you're talking about the original Dracula.
I like vampires. Whatever.
I don't like today's vampires. I like old school vampires.
Today's vampires are so sexy.
I like the Lost Boys. That is a good vampire movie, and that was like the last good vampire movie that came out. Now we have Twilight and all this other lame crap where their face glitters in the sun and they drive Porsches to.
Okay, you're such a hater.
I'm not hating. It's just not. It's not.
It
totally like no. It totally took a shite all over the vampire world. Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's getting late, okay? Bram Stoker's Dracula was an excellent film. Twilight is not a good film.
Okay, enough dogging my shows here. Banny UK wants to know, how do I put Naza N-A-Z-A into acro mode?
That is a troll question, and you can go screw yourself, Banny.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I've never flown. I'm assuming that's a troll question. I have never flown NASA, and I will never fly NASA.
Oh, it obviously must be because Jesse Simmons is verifying that. Okay. Thank you.
I still love you, though.
We love you so much. I love you. I mean it. Yeah. He's totally trolling, and I'm
That's
going to
okay.
decide.
I like that. Trolling is a form of flattery to me.
Troll away, Banny UK. Oh, nothing better to do. Does Stingy have a girlfriend?
He was dating.
Ask Stingy.
Yeah, ask him. I don't know. That's his own personal life. I don't think he is though.
Ooh, Chris Simpson wants to know: fuck, marry, kill, Willie, Stingy, or your girlfriend?
Wait, what?
You never played that game? Fuck, marry, kill. Who would you sleep with? Who would you marry? Who would you kill?
I've never played that game.
Between Willie, Stingy, and me.
Who would you marry? Who would you sleep with? And who would you kill?
Yeah.
Between you,
Willard, and Stingy.
I would kill Willard in a heartbeat. That would be my only choice.
You would marry who? Me or Stingy?
Oh man, this is bull crap. You can't put two dudes in there. You're setting me up for failure.
Next. Hola, Guillermo.
I'd have to marry Kevin and then secretly bang Autumn.
Whoa.
And keep it in secret. Okay, we're gonna answer a few more and then we're gonna end this.
Okay, what's your favorite prop right now?
Ooh, the HQ 5x4.3x3, the PC, and I also like the Luminaire butter cutters, and that's it. And the standard 5x4x3 HQ as well.
Yeah.
Come on,
Okay.
keep them coming.
Fun. Some of them are like.
Some of them are
silly.
like really long.
No, some of them were kind of silly.
I like silly questions.
Because it wasn't okay. Were you a Goonies fan?
Yes, and they are working on a sequel. I don't know if you guys knew that or not. I'm also a Beetlejuice fan, and they're making a new Beetlejuice movie. And I'm also, what else? There's a lot of like fun films. I realize that they're working on sequels.
Fidget Fiddler says Skitzo. Say shout out to 727 FPV, please.
What?
Just shout out 727 FPV.
727 FPV. Shout out to you, man. Did I say it right?
Yeah.
All right.
What are your
Pie, definitely.
Whoa, Mecha Guyver? Why do I keep answering the same people's questions? What are your thoughts on ending your live session with? Not gonna ask that one.
Okay. She says she won't answer it. Fidget Fiddler.
People still want to know how you got your name Skitzo.
Oh man, I've answered it so many
So
times,
many
and it's
times.
so lame. Okay, last time I'm gonna answer. My Skitzo name came from my competitive online gaming in the past that I used to do. We used to always come up with cool names, like I don't know, Billy Badass or whatever you want to call yourself in a video game, and that I thought Skitzo sounded cool. That is the only reason. There was no reason other than that.
He's Skitzo.
Yeah, I'm just so crazy,
He's crazy.
Yeah, just like my flying style.
If you were a movie character, what would you be?
If I was a movie character,
Mm-hmm.
maybe Neo from Matrix.
Yeah, right. Sorry, that was so loud.
What? I can pull off a Keanu Reeves if I had long hair.
Oh my god. Maybe his voice.
Whoa! Whoa, guys! Stop shooting the bullets. I don't know what I would be. I never picture myself in
The
movies.
Crane from Batman.
Maybe Karate Kid. I could be the Karate Kid guy. Daniel LaRusso.
Heavy
remember
metal or rock? I don't know.
Heavy metal or what?
Or rock.
Like heavy metal the movie?
Or rock for music.
Heavy metal. Oh. I thought you meant the movie Heavy Metal. I don't know. It depends on my mood. Probably rock in general, but heavy metal's fun too.
More rock.
Yeah.
Valiant 360420. My gosh, all those numbers. He doesn't drink. Okay, next.
I don't drink, so she's not even asked that question.
No. Willie wants to know Wild Willie or Johnny FPV. Go to bed, Willard. Don't you have class or something in the morning?
I thought that they were like the same now.
Yeah, you guys are like dynamic duo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like me and Mindy. Airplane movies?
You want to know what my favorite question of the night was?
What?
Why is my hair sticking up in the front? That is my favorite question of the night.
Somebody wants to know. Ryan O'Neill wants to know. Have you flown the Gem Fan 5152 props?
5152. No, that is a lot of pitch though.
What is a lot of pitch?
It's the pitch of the prop.
Which one's the one that your friend? Oh man, it was in a.
I haven't flown them
The
though.
packaging was like they look like candy.
You're talking about the jelly beans, and
Yeah,
that's
the
racecraft props.
It's like super.
There's so many race names. There's like racecraft, race flight, race band, race band. See, you know, like, there's so many race ones.
Zoltan FPV wants to know: have you ever tried beta race flight?
Beta race flight.
Is that
I'm
a
assuming that might mean putting beta flight on the race flight board, or vice versa, and I haven't done that.
Biggest idol growing up.
Biggest idol growing up. My dad?
His dad's so cool. I love him.
My dad's pretty awesome.
He is
To
pretty
give you an
awesome.
idea, my dad is like the polar opposite of me. He's like super independent and super hardcore in the sense of he took himself to his own eye doctor surgery, like didn't tell anyone. He didn't tell my mom or me. He just drove himself to the doctor. They ripped out his eyeballs and like reattached his retinas because he had a severed retina or something. And they pulled his eyeballs out and like reattached them, and he drove himself back home with eye patches and stuff. And actually, only one eye. Anyway, the point is when I had to go to the dentist, I'm like all super nervous about it the night before, and I'm like, what if I die? And I'm like the total polar opposite of my dad. He's like really, really cool. So I've always looked up to that.
Yeah, your dad's
It's
just
like
super cool.
I wish I could be like that.
And he's super witty.
He's antisocial too, though.
But he's hilarious. He has the craziest sense of humor. I love him.
What's up, Dustin?
Hey, Dustin.
What is a good flight controller besides mine? Oh man, that's a hard question.
There are none.
If I wasn't flying mine, I would probably be flying an F4 board with Betaflight. I don't really want to say that because race flight is the way to go, but yeah. All right, a couple more. We'll do a couple more.
Yeah, I think.
Did we answer them all?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah, we are still live. Someone wants to know, are you guys still live? Give the dog away.
Whoa, no.
That's a good idea.
Are you kidding me?
Then we can get a different dog.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Good night, Fingolfer. You guys have some funny names.
No kiss flight controller?
Sign the Skitzo dog.
Sign the Skitzo.
Give me a Sharpie, babe.
No.
No?
Wild
Kyle,
Wild.
you should get my flight controller. It's freaking awesome. I'm going to come out with a video, show you guys how to tune it. My tune's already going to be in it.
Sunny Day wants to know, do you fully realize your place in art history?
No. What? An art history?
Yeah.
I don't have any history. I can die tomorrow and no one is going to remember. They'll be like, yeah, that was just that guy that did like little flippy things over trees.
And everybody wants to know if you're going to Richmond.
What's in Richmond?
Or actually, no. That was, let's see. Is DRL really like WWE?
What do you look for in tuning filters? Sound, feel? Justin, that's a good question. Justin Hill wants to know, what do you look for when you're tuning filters? Is it the sound? What do you say? Is it the sound, feel, or logs? It's actually a combination of both, but the biggest is the feeling. If you're kind of cruising around, because you can just do stock PIDs, right? Just do stock filters and PIDs. If you're cruising around and it kind of feels like you're riding over sand or rocks or something like that, you want it to have perfectly smooth lines, and if it doesn't do that, then your filters are probably wrong. You probably need more filtering. But once you get to a point where it feels smooth, but it's not absolutely perfect, that's when you kind of go back to the logs. All right, go ahead.
What lenses or tripod do you use for your telescope?
I don't use lenses. Telescope is the lens. Telescope has a built-in lens. It's just a giant lens. That's what a telescope is.
Willie wants you to sign his tits.
His man boobs?
His man boobs.
Your moobs? I'll sign Wild Willie's boobs. Anyway, my telescope is an 81 millimeter William Optics refractor, and it's got 5 lenses in it. And I also use a Celestron CGEM mount.
Dustin!
What do you say?
He said, my girlfriend is watching. She thinks this is weird. She's worried about Skitzo showing his penis. He is not going to show such a thing.
No.
What?
That's for later.
Excuse me. You should do a Q&A with
Chris Simpson says reflector is greater than refractor. I will disagree on that. In terms of value for the size of telescope, yes. But no, refractors take the best photos. What?
Somebody wants to know what the final glide drama is.
There's more drama?
We love drama.
Skitzo's blink twice if you're held captive.
David Tucker said, end the stream.
David Tucker says we've done it. We've finished
he says
it.
We're done.
Yeah, we're done.
Okay. Well,
I have 6 working quads at the moment. Actually 7 if you include my little guy. Actually, there we go. Wow.
Guys, if you don't want to watch it, you can log off.
Who is a better racer, you, Wild Willie, or Jet FPV? I would definitely say that both of them are better than me. But I don't know who Jet FPV is.
Jack Hodges, what do you need?
All right, one more question. We're going to end it. I'm getting tired to the point where I can't even think right now.
Really?
How much would you recommend FPV? I would highly recommend it. It's awesome. What do you... Come here.
Is Steele an asshole or is he cool?
It depends. What do you think, baby?
I think he's the coolest asshole ever.
Oh, there it is.
He
Look
is
at this.
actually really cool though.
Yeah. Steele is fun to have around. Dog giveaway contest.
Hey, whoa! Who was that? Chris? No. Dustin.
Willard tell Johnny to clean his effing room. I don't know. That's funny.
I wish you could, like, you guys could live stream, like, all 3 of you.
We're gonna do that. Me, Johnny, and Wild Willie.
Like,
yeah. And
and
like all three of us
like
will
a
be
Skype
on.
meeting that everybody can see.
Exactly.
That'd be awesome.
That's what we should try. And I'll be like, hey guys, why do you both fly the same? I can't tell you apart anymore. That was a troll comment. I was trying to make fun of them, but okay.
Okay, time to go to bed.
All right, it's late. Hopefully, I will not forget next Tuesdays.
Zoltan's outside our window. Woohoo!
That's creepy.
Let's go say hi, Tycho.
Anyway, I'll have her remind me. Thanks for joining, guys. It means a lot, for real.
Bye, we love you.
Yeah, she's gonna go let Tycho out.
Bye.